Okay, it's a pretty small meeting today. Welcome, everyone. Today is April 12th. This is the multi-large working group meeting. Let's get to our agenda. First one was being done. Amy?
Thank you. Yeah, so we're continuing working on the API service migration. At the moment, the main thing that we've been spending our time on is continuing on this investigation about we've renamed it. So it's the issue discussed last week, but we've now narrowed it down to, it is a service discovery sometimes failing inside of Kubernetes. So Graham's continuing investigating that, various pieces around console, and probably we need to upgrade it, and sort of narrowing in on what the problem is going on there. So at the moment, this is the main blocker we have before we can move beyond Canary with the API service. So it's in progress though, but hopefully it's a simple fix. Graham has an idea, it might be a simple fix, but it is still an unknown at this stage.
Yeah, I was following this issue, and I look, Jason was working with the infrastructure people together to work on this. So I was following this issue. Looks like we do run into some kind of a blocker here. There are still console service is still not being available for like a minute.
Yes, exactly. So we certainly don't want to put the API service over there until we understand what's going on here. So yeah. At the moment, the impact is manageable, but won't be for the API. So yeah, we'll continue doing continue working on that one. But I think at the moment we have the help we need. And then on the what's happening next, like alongside that stuff, we do still have various kind of more standard migration work which is underway. So it's basically just reviewing configs. We've got writing the readiness review, putting some runbooks together, and all of that sort of just fairly normal work. So that's all in progress as well.
Cool, thank you. And the blockers, of course, we just discussed. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's two blockers on I just put the link in rather than rewrite them. There's two blockers at the moment. One is we've just discussed, the service discovery one, and the other one is also in progress, which is what Jason earlier, registry DB migrations, which.
Oh, that one was a new one to me. I didn't notice that. Okay, so it looks like Jason is helping the team right now.
Yeah. The short answer is we inadvertently included something that ended up causing a hiccup. We didn't know because it was an edge case we actually hadn't tested. We've sorted that out for the migrations job itself. We do have further items in regards to the upcoming work within the registry regarding the metadata. We'll be touching back on that in terms of what needs to change and other configuration items within the next milestone.
Super, thanks for that.
Yep.
Apologies for the vagueness, but not everything is public.
Thank you. Okay, move on to discussions. So I discussed this with Marion offline. So looks like this working group, the work or the blockers, the appearance of the blockers is kind of cyclic. When we kick off a new migration, a migration of a new cluster, that is generally when we see more blockers, we discuss more blockers. But when we are passing the first stage and basically moving the nodes and also testing, the blockers discovery pace slows down. So it's kind of cyclic. So I was proposing that we change the cadence of this meeting to bi-weekly, fortnightly during the low tides. And then we increase back to the weekly when we are in a high tide period. So that's my suggestion. I wonder how people feel about it.
Yeah, I think for me, that makes total sense. Like at the moment, we're very much just moving through fairly routine migration work. So yeah, there's certainly less that we require from the working group. But as we go into the next stage, the web stage, then yeah, I expect we'll have the need to have people available to help us with that. So yeah, that makes sense to me.
Okay, cool. So I'll adjust this meeting to fortnightly for now. Once we see a spike of the new discoveries, we will restore this meeting to the weekly cadence. And meanwhile, don't hesitate to ask for new meetings. If we are in a week, there is no meeting, or we do async anyway, so we can do everything we need here. But now I will just slow down the pace of this meeting to give everyone 30 minutes back every other week. Okay, cool. Okay, next, Amy.
Yeah, so it's just following up from last week, and I saw the issue for disabled serving pages from legacy storage was, from the comments it looks complete, but from the checklist and the description it doesn't look complete. So I was just wondering whether we were actually are we currently expecting there to be any NFS traffic?
Yeah, I looked into that epics, and the issue looks like we are still seeing some traces from the NFS, but more investigation is necessary to find where they come from. At this point, I think according to the update in the issues, nothing is going to happen anytime soon. The priorities are given to the API migration and also some other works like the rapid actions. So how urgent? I think we want to migrate over. I will cut off the NFS as soon as possible, but at this point, there seems to be work on both the infrastructure side and the dev side. Infrastructure side is basically to find out where the NFS traffic comes from. The dev side is after that, we need to figure out what we can do to cut off that. I mean, totally clean up the NFS.
So on the infra side, is that so? Because sort of just want to make sure I'm kind of clear in my understanding. So we started looking at moving the batch of Sidekick Cues, the batch 7, and we saw there was still some traffic. We didn't do anything with it from that point because we saw there was still this issue that we needed to disable serving page. So we were waiting on that. Mm-hmm. So are we waiting on something from delivery? When you say on the infra side, was that a delivery issue or is it something else?
I forgot. It's I saw one comment either from Jarv or from Scarback. Is there is some traffic. There is some NFS traffic. Probably you're right from the Sidekick. So I wonder if that's a stopper here to cut off the NFS. I think, yeah. So
we're expecting that once this work has been completed, that traffic should just go away. I don't think there's like additional work. It's more that it's this. From the comments I saw, I think it's that once that legacy storage, like once we've disabled the serving of pages from legacy storage, that traffic should just naturally go away. Okay.
So what you're suggesting is we have all the pieces here. We can cut off stop serving the pages from the NFS. Is that what you think, or we still need to double sure? I mean, do more investigation.
I think that's what we need to confirm, but I don't think it's not so we're waiting to migrate the Sidekick Cues. So at some point they won't have any NFS calls on them. And at that point we can do the migration. But I believe the work to stop those calls, it should be covered, I believe, by this disable serving pages from legacy storage task.
Okay. Do you have any idea which team should be working on this? It looks like it's Vladimir here. I can actually give him a ping. His last update is like he may not come back to this issue until 14.2 or 3. I'll just ping him to see the latest update. That was 1 week ago. Okay, I'll follow up. Looks like his last comment was 6 days ago, 14.0. Okay. Great.
We have other things to do, but it's just want to make sure we're not all waiting on each other. So that'd be great. Thanks. And then, yeah, number 3, I think Jason, yeah, you've answered this one, which was really, I was just following up on a few weeks ago, we had a discussion about the product requirements for migrating Gitly to Kubernetes. And yeah, I just wanted to keep track of the work there. We will be starting to plan out sort of the technical side, which will answer your point there, number 8, Chun, which we will add in the issue onto that Epic 112. But before we do that, we'll check in on the product requirements. So thank you for that.
Right. I want to toss out there, keep in mind that the issue there is just about Gitaly. We still need to be concerned about Prefect itself and how that works. We do already have people going, well, can we run Prefect in and then Gitaly outside? And we still have the issue of scaling is problematic, because while we have the ability to have quorum and to manually scale, we do not have the ability within Gitaly and Prefect right now to adaptively scale automatically. So there's some state lock in how you do scaling. If you take a node out, you can make things a little upset. If you add a node, it will catch up. But the problem is, if a node comes and goes, the whole system goes, I have no idea what happened.
I see. Okay. Is that something, has anyone done any work already to try and work through options for that, or are we at the stage we need to work out those options?
I genuinely need to go and poke the Gitaly team and be like, where are we? Where do we stand? Where exactly are your future plans? I know of the implementation issues because we've tried just taking Prefect, deploying it, and be like, go from 1 to 10 and see what happens. You know, we're basically throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what breaks. So it's a matter of, I don't have enough deep knowledge about what's going on. I just know it doesn't work.
Okay. And I know we've talked before about having a Gitaly representation in this meeting. That, I mean, at some point we're going to have sort of that, or certainly, I guess at some point this topic will switch to being the focus of this meeting as we get closer to that migration, right? So maybe it just naturally occurs.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I already gave the EM and PM heads up. I think they were here for once, but now we don't have any topic to them, so they probably just temporarily drop. But when we are ready to move the Gitly nodes, I will just give them a heads up again to rejoin this meeting.
Fantastic. Great.
Yeah. Cool. That's the last item. Anything else? Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Have a good day.
Thanks very much.